Long before Rome was founded, before Athens built its first temple, a wealthy kingdom rose along the distant shores of Spain. A kingdom so rich its rivers shimmered with gold and so mysterious that not even the Greeks could explain its origins. Its name was Tartessos, and then without warning it disappeared. No ruins, no survivors, no written history. Today, archaeologists believe Tartessos may be Europe's first great lost civilization. What happened here and why did it vanish? This is the story that has baffled historians for 2,500 years. The Lost Kingdom of Tartessos. For centuries, the world of ancient history has been dominated by the stories of Egypt, Babylon, Greece, and Rome. These great civilizations left behind monuments, texts, and legacies that have shaped the human story. But scattered across the sands and shores of the far western Mediterranean lies the shadow of a civilization older than Greece, wealthier than early Rome, and more mysterious than the vanished kingdoms of the East. This was Tartessos, a kingdom spoken of by ancient authors as a land of incredible riches, a place where gold flowed in the rivers, and where a people known as the Tartessians developed one of the earliest true civilizations of Western Europe. Yet despite its significance, Tartessos disappeared so thoroughly that even its capital city remains undiscovered. No monumental ruins have been verified, no palaces stand, no inscriptions reveal the full story of its kings. It is a civilization simultaneously real and legendary, one that modern archaeology is only beginning to understand. This documentary explores the origins, rise, economy, culture, language, religion, trade networks, and mysterious collapse of Tartessos. What follows is a comprehensive analysis, built from archaeology, ancient Greek and Phoenician texts, geological evidence, and modern historical research. Before discussing Tartessos, we must understand the world it emerged into. Around 2000 BCE, the Western Mediterranean was a mosaic of tribal societies. In the Iberian Peninsula, modern Spain and Portugal, Bronze Age cultures thrived, but none had yet centralized into states comparable to those in the East. The Eastern Mediterranean, in contrast, was already dominated by sophisticated societies. Egypt's Middle Kingdom, the Minoans on Crete, the Levantan city-states, the Mesopotamian kingdoms. Trade networks spanned thousands of kilometers. Tin from Britain, amber from the Baltic, copper from Cyprus, and gold from Nubia all circulated among early civilizations. Into this interconnected world sailed a group whose impact would define the future of Tartessos, the Phoenicians. The Phoenicians, expert sailors from the region of modern Lebanon, had established themselves as the greatest traders and navigators of the ancient world. They founded colonies, built trade stations, and sought resources across the Mediterranean. Their arrival in the far west around the 9th–8th centuries BCE created the spark that awakened Tartessos. But Tartessos itself may have existed long before they arrived. Ancient Greek authors, including Herodotus, Strabo, and Ephorus, describe a wealthy kingdom beyond the Pillars of Hercules, the Strait of Gibraltar. They mention a king named Arganthonius, who supposedly ruled for more than 80 years and lived to the age of 120, a sign of great longevity and prosperity in the ancient imagination. Greek sources speak of Tartessos as a land with rich mines of gold, silver, and copper, a kingdom with organized government and laws, a place open to trading relationships, especially with Greek sailors, a culture with its own writing system. The fact that Greeks knew the name at all proves that Tartessos was not a mythical location. It was real enough to appear in recorded literature. But what was Tartessos exactly? A city, a river, a kingdom, a trading federation? The answer, Tartessos was all of these. The Tartessos River, mentioned by Strabo, has been identified as the modern Guadalquivir River in southwestern Spain. The region around this river forms what scholars call the Tartessian cultural area, stretching through the provinces of Huelva, Cadiz, and Seville, parts of Extremadura, Badajoz, and Algarve in Portugal. This was the heartland of the Tartessian civilization. The wealth beneath the earth. The rise of Tartessos cannot be understood without recognizing the mineral wealth of the Iberian Peninsula. The region contains some of the richest metal deposits in Europe. Silver deposits in Huelva. Copper and tin mines in the Sierra Morena. Gold deposits in the river systems. The Phoenicians, skilled at identifying profitable regions, quickly recognized the area's potential. When they arrived, local tribal groups already mined small quantities of metals, but metallurgy was primitive. The Phoenicians brought advanced smelting techniques, demand for precious metals, trade networks stretching across the Mediterranean, goods such as fine ceramics, luxury textiles, and glassware, a desire to establish long-term economic relationships. The Iberians, in turn, provided the Phoenicians with raw materials worth immense value in the ancient world. Thus began the symbiotic relationship that would transform Tartessos into a powerful kingdom. A kingdom is born. Between 900 and 750 BCE, a process of political centralization occurred. Tribal groups began merging into larger chiefdoms. Wealth concentrated in certain locations. The presence of Phoenician colonies such as Gadir, modern Cadiz, stimulated urbanization inland. By the 8th century BCE, Tartessos had become a recognized political entity. And by the 7th century BCE, it rose to prominence as the first Western European civilization. Metals, the foundation of power. Tartessos built its power on mining and metallurgy. Archaeological excavations reveal vast networks of ancient exploitation sites, including Rio Tinto, one of the world's oldest mining complexes, Tartessos, Aznalcollar, Soto Coronada. The Tartessians produced silver ingots, copper tools and ornaments, bronze alloys, gold jewelry, tin critical for making bronze. These materials flowed into Phoenician trading systems, enriching both civilizations. Agriculture and animal husbandry. Although metal trade was central, Tartessos also developed a robust agricultural economy. Wheat and barley in the fertile river valleys. Olive cultivation. Vineyards producing early forms of wine. Sheep, goats, and cattle. The river plains of the Guadalquivir were among the most fertile in Europe, providing surplus that supported urban centers. Trade networks. Tartessos exported silver, copper, gold, salt fish, agricultural products. They imported Phoenician luxury goods, Egyptian-style objects, Greek pottery, Mediterranean textiles, technology, writing, and art styles. Their wealth made them influential and vulnerable. Urban development. Although no large Tartessian city has been conclusively excavated, archaeological evidence suggests planned settlements, residential districts, workshops for metal and pottery, religious and ceremonial structures. The likely capital city, the legendary Tartessos itself, is believed to lie somewhere in the marshlands near the mouth of the Guadalquivir, possibly buried beneath layers of sediment or submerged beneath the Atlantic coast. Writing system. The Tartessians developed their own writing, one of the earliest in Western Europe. The Tartessian script used 27 signs, a mix of alphabetic and syllabic forms. Left-to-right writing direction. Influence from Phoenician characters. Over 100 inscriptions have been found, but the language is only partially understood. Art and craftsmanship. Tartessian artwork displays extraordinary skill. Gold diadems. Silver bowls decorated with geometric motifs. Bronze cauldrons. Ivory carvings, ceremonial helmets. Their style mixes local Iberian forms with Phoenician and Eastern Mediterranean influences. Social structure. Tartessos appears to have had a centralized monarchy, noble families who controlled land and mines, craftsmen and artisans, merchants, farmers and workers. The elite displayed their wealth in lavish burials. Tartessian religion blended indigenous Iberian spiritual traditions with influences from Phoenician and Near Eastern religions. Major deities. They likely worshiped deities associated with metalworking, rivers and waters, the sun, fertility, the underworld. Some scholars believe they worshipped a goddess similar to Astarte or Tanith, adopted from Phoenician settlers. Sanctuaries and temples. Archaeologists have discovered religious complexes such as Cerro del Castillo, Canchirona, El Carambolo, where a famous golden treasure hoard was discovered. These sanctuaries included offering chambers, water basins, altars, ritual pottery, fire pits, burial practices. Tartessian burials include cremations in urns, stone-lined tombs, burial mounds, wealthy elite tombs containing gold, silver, and weapons. Their funerary practices show a blend of Indo-European and Mediterranean traditions. Herodotus provides a rare glimpse into Tartessos through the figure of King Arganthonios, who ruled around the 7th–6th century BCE. According to Greek sources, he ruled for 80 years, lived to be 120 years old, was friendly toward Greek sailors, offered them wealth to fortify their homeland, presided over the golden age of Tartessos. Modern scholars believe Arganthonios may have been a symbolic title rather than a single individual. His century-long reign likely represents a period of political stability and wealth. Under Arganthonios, mines were exploited at their peak. Trade with Greeks increased. Tartessian culture flourished. But this golden age would not last. The changing power of the Mediterranean. Around 550 BCE, major geopolitical shifts occurred. Phoenician cities came under Persian control. Carthage, a powerful Phoenician colony, began expanding. Greek colonies and Carthaginian forces clashed. Trade networks shifted. Tartessos depended heavily on Phoenician trade. As Carthage grew more aggressive, the western Mediterranean became a battleground. The Battle of Alalia, c. 540 BCE. This naval conflict between Greeks and Carthaginians altered the balance of power. The Greeks lost dominance in the west. Carthage now controlled maritime routes, and Tartessos found itself isolated. Without Greek traders and under pressure from Carthaginian merchants, Tartessos began to decline. The fall. Within a century, Tartessos vanished from history. By 450 BCE, the capital city disappeared. The culture dissolved into smaller Iberian groups. No Tartessian kingdom survived. The collapse was sudden enough that Greek writers were surprised to find Tartessos gone. What happened? Historians propose several theories. 1. Carthaginian hostility. Carthage, seeking control of Iberian mines, may have blocked Tartessian trade, defeated their navy, destroyed coastal settlements, established its own colonies in the region. This theory is widely supported. 2. Environmental catastrophe. Geological evidence suggests major earthquakes, flooding in the Guadalquivir Valley, shifts in coastline, possible tsunamis. These events could have destroyed the capital city or made it uninhabitable. Some researchers believe the city lies buried beneath marshlands created by such disasters. 3. Economic collapse. As trade routes shifted, Tartessos may have suffered a severe economic downturn. Decline in metal demand. Competition from new mining centers. Loss of trading partners. The kingdom's wealth had made it powerful, but also dependent. 4. Internal fragmentation. Without strong leadership after the death of Arganthonios, the kingdom may have fractured. Local elites might have competed for power, weakening the state. 5. Cultural assimilation. The Tartessians may simply have merged into neighboring Iberian cultures, losing unique identity over time. El Carambolo treasure, 1958. A hoard of 21 gold artifacts weighing over 3 kilograms. These include diadems, necklaces, pectorals, bracelets. The intricate craftsmanship suggests a highly advanced metalworking tradition. Cancho Rono complex, a religious sanctuary with multiple rooms, fire rituals, offerings, sacrificial altars, imported pottery, indicating a structured, sophisticated society. The Lady of Baza, Lady of Elche, and other Iberian sculptures. While not directly Tartessian, they indicate a broader Iberian cultural sphere influenced by Tartessian traditions. New discoveries, 2000s-2020s. Recent excavations reveal Tartessian urban structures, large buildings, defensive walls, new inscriptions, storage areas, workshops. The civilization is gradually being restored through archaeology. The Tartessian language remains one of Europe's great linguistic mysteries. It appears to be not Indo-European, pre-Celtic, possibly related to ancient Basque or other lost Iberian languages. Inscriptions include funerary dedications, ownership marks, ritual texts, possibly legal or ceremonial statements. Despite decades of study, only about 30–40% of the script is understood. Some researchers propose links between Tartessos and Plato's Atlantis. Similarities include a wealthy maritime kingdom, located beyond the Pillars of Hercules, home to advanced technologies, sudden disappearance, possible destruction by natural disasters. However, mainstream scholars treat this connection cautiously. Still, the mystery of Tartessos often fuels speculation about lost civilizations. Archaeologists have proposed several potential locations. Dinyana National Park, near marshlands and ancient shorelines. Huelva, a major Tartessian center. Cádiz region, near Phoenician trade routes. Seville, along the Guadalquivir. El Carambolo Hill, site of religious treasures. Satellite imagery, ground-penetrating radar, and geological studies are ongoing. Some believe the city lies deep beneath waterlogged sediments, preserved but unreachable. Tartessos challenges the assumption that Europe's oldest civilizations arose in Greece or Rome. Instead, a sophisticated kingdom flourished in Iberia centuries earlier. It developed writing, urban culture, art, religion, advanced metallurgy, long-distance trade networks. Tartessos is proof that Western Europe had a major civilization that played a critical role in early Mediterranean history. The story of Tartessos is not simply the story of a lost kingdom. It is a testament to the complexity of ancient Europe, a civilization that rose to wealth through resourcefulness, trade, diplomacy, and metallurgy, and fell due to geopolitical shifts, environmental forces, or both. Today, Tartessos remains one of the most enchanting mysteries of antiquity. Archaeologists continue to search for its capital,